What's going on, guys? The last couple of videos I made have been me going out, obtaining inventory, and sourcing new things. This video is going to be what sold, things that have actually sold so far. I'm going to pick items from the previous videos and my previous auction hauls. So if you guys have watched any of my videos in the past, I've only been doing this for a couple months, but if you've watched any of the previous videos, then you'll recognize some of these items. So I want to show you guys some things that sold. And the first thing I'm going to show you is things that sold over the weekend, just to give you an idea of like things that sell over a general weekend. This was a pretty average weekend for me. I consider it a good weekend if I have 20 things to ship on a Monday, and we have 22 things to ship today, so it was all in all a good week. So today's Monday. I got everything pulled out that sold over the weekend. Total sales, 22 items, $2,200. My buy cost on all this stuff was $487. I added it up. So I made well over $1,000 profit on just these few items that sold over the weekend, but I'll go through and show you everything that sold. This tennis racket sold for $100 plus shipping. This is a Royal Dalton brand set of dinnerware. It sold for $175 plus shipping. The brand new Fitbit watch sold for $200 free shipping. This Lionel track set with a few extras that sold for $68 plus ship. This is a lot of 5 bank bags. I sell a bunch of those. I sell them for $14 a lot, $13.99 free shipping, and my buy cost on those is $1.25. I sold this large ammo crate for $80 plus ship. I got $160 for the Disney pin lot. This is a really cool vintage Planters peanut jar. It sold for $135 plus shipping. And you guys saw this. This was in one of my last few videos. I think I just paid $40 at the auction for it, and it sold within a couple days for $150 plus shipping. The Iowa boombox sold for $85 plus ship. I got $44 for the ink, and I paid $20 for that. These Auric vacuums, I've actually sold a bunch of these, and you can often find them at yard sales for $5 or $10, and they always sell for around $50, and this one sold for $45 plus shipping. This is a Repilogue. I don't even know how to say the actual brand name, but there you go. And this thing actually has the cord and it lights up. It's a really cool piece, and it's in good condition. It sold for $68 plus shipping. These axes were in one of the previous videos. You saw me source them at a live auction. They sold for $100 plus ship for the pair. These are in my very last videos. I just picked them up at Goodwill on Wednesday for $15, and they sold really quick within a couple days for $40 plus shipping. Another lot of 5 bank bags. This was a really good sale. This is a nice set of 1847 Rogers flatware. I got it at an auction for 20 bucks. Sold the set for $185. Great profit. And another cool sale was this. These 3 knives just came with like a lot of other stuff I wanted at auction. So essentially they were free, but they ended up being good brands, Sabatier. And those three knives sold for $70 plus ship. And then another lot of 5 bank bags. But yeah, those were the sales for the weekend. It only took me a couple hours to package up all this stuff, and well over $1,000 profit. So now that you guys saw what sold over the weekend, now I want to show you some sales that sold over the last 7 days. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I picked items that were in the previous videos, so you'll recognize a lot of these items and you'll get to see what they actually sold for. So the first item we sold was this Tonka truck. I paid $12 for that Tonka truck at an auction not too long ago. It sold for $64.25 plus shipping. It's kind of an odd number because I know I've told you guys in previous videos that you can send out offers to buyers. I actually had this item listed for $69.99 plus ship, and there was an option to send an offer to a buyer, so I sent the offer at $64.25, and they accepted, so that was all in all a good sale. The next item we sold was the Lego Technic stuff we picked up last week at the auction. Now, when I looked up the Lego Technic set, I knew that it was worth like $300 new in the box. I saw some assembled ones sell, but I got the excavator with it, so I put those two together. I started the auction at $199, and I was just hoping to get a bid and have that $200 sale. But it had a lot of watchers, a lot of interest, and a lot of bids, and it got bid all the way up to $310 plus shipping. So that was kind of surprising, and I only paid $40, so I made like over $200 on that sale. That was a great flip all around. The next item I sold like really surprised me. It's this vintage World War II era field jacket. Now, in one of my last auction haul videos, I showed you guys like piles and piles of old soldier uniforms or BDUs. And this was in that pile. It was a vintage jacket. I looked it up by the maker, and a lot of them were selling for like around $50. I think this one might have been a little bit special because it was a size 3X, which is probably really hard to find for like a vintage World War II era field jacket. Most of them are usually like small, medium, and then sometimes large because generally speaking, like most soldiers are really physically fit. So it's hard to find this jacket from that era in a size 3X. That's my only guess as to why it sold for $165.50. I started that auction at $54.99 and I really wasn't even sure if I'd get a bid. So I was really surprised when it sold for $165.50. That was a great sale. The next one I sold was just from the very last video, the TaylorMade driver. I picked this up at Goodwill on Wednesday. I bought all those golf clubs you saw in the last video. I paid $7 for this driver and it sold within a couple of days for $52.99 plus shipping. So it was quick and easy and got some of the money coming in from the golf club. So that was a good flip and it sold fast, and that's what you want. The next thing I sold was the Crocs I picked up at the same Goodwill last week. I only paid $15 for those Crocs because they were brand new. If they had any signs of use, I would have put them back. I saw sold comps for around $45 for the brand new one. I didn't have the box or anything, so I just sold it for $39.95, and it actually sold one day later, the day after I listed it. So it was a quick sale. A lot of times shoes will sit around, so it's really nice if they get sold that quick. So that was a nice quick flip on the Crocs. The next thing I sold was this Planters peanut jar. Now this was a cool item and you won't recognize it from any of the old videos because it was actually, I listed it like in April, so it was on there for like 6 or 7 months. It was a long tail item, and the only reason I want to show you guys this is because sometimes you'll have items that sit on there for a long time and a lot of people get discouraged and wonder why their stuff isn't selling. But instead, I like to focus on getting new stuff, listing new stuff, and sometimes I'll go back and lower the price and tweak that listing. But don't focus on your old listings to the extent where it's driving you nuts, because in this case, you see eventually later down the line you'll probably get the sale, and you just got to wait for the right buyer to come along. There's some items that don't have a high demand, and there's not too many people out there wanting to spend $135 on a cookie jar. So this sat around for a while, but ultimately I got top dollar for the sale and it was worth the wait. I only paid $20 for the cookie jar, so I made over $100 on it. So all in all, that was a really great sale. The next item is the ammo box that I picked up at an online auction a few weeks ago. Now this is a huge ammo box. I think it was made for like 60mm rounds or something like that. So the box is massive. It was like 19 inches by 14 inches by 10. So it was a fairly large ammo crate. You could put a lot of ammo in there, or a lot of storage if you're using it for storage. And it's kind of a really unique piece. I had it for maybe 6 to 8 weeks on there, and I paid $24, and it sold for $79.99 plus shipping, which is about what I thought it would sell for. So that was a great sale. The next last one, this is the last sale, was this Enfield Clock. Now, a few weeks ago, I made a video about an online auction haul, and I showed you guys I had picked up a bunch of bayonets and a bunch of clocks, and that was pretty much the gist of that, everything I picked up at that sale. So this is one of the clocks from that sale. I ended up getting it for $25 plus buyer's premium. So I paid $28 total for the clock, and it sold within a few weeks for $84 plus shipping. So these are all really good sales, and I want you guys to pay attention to the fact that these are all stuff that I've just sourced recently, right? I've probably sold 60 or 70 items in the last 7 days, and these are 7 items that I cherry picked. But as you can see, these are items that these are all items I picked up in the last few weeks. So the point is, it's important to be consistently sourcing, listing new things. This is like where a majority of my sales come from, are recently listed items. And then you have sales like the cookie jar that trickle in and you're like, oh, I listed that a few months ago. I'm glad to see it go, right? But we can't just stop sourcing and expect our store to continue to sell. Like, the main thing that drives traffic to your store and the main thing that drives your sales is all the new stuff you're sourcing and listing. You don't want to get ahead of yourself and get too much stuff where you're sourcing too much and you can't list it fast enough and you got all this stuff piling up and you're completely flat broke, right? You have to manage your money, you have to manage your inventory, you have to make good buying choices. And I want to give you guys a quick tip. When you're out there looking stuff up and you're looking up sold comps, make sure you're paying attention to the number of items listed and the number of items sold, right? That gives you a really good idea of the market for an item, right? So if I have, say, Funko Pop, Michael Jackson Funko Pop, if I look it up, there's 150 of them listed, and then in 90 days, there's been 10 that sold. The sell-through rate is terrible. There's 190 listed, 10 have sold. That tells me the market's low for that product, and I'm not likely gonna be able to sell it quickly, right? So now, on the flip side, if I look up an item, and there's 15 listed, and 100 sold, that tells me that these items sell like hot fire and the market is hot, and that this item, when I list this item, that it's gonna sell quickly, right? So you can judge a market by looking up how many are listed relative to how many have sold. And it took me a long time to learn that. I actually learned it from another YouTuber, and I had been selling online for like 5 years before I even thought of that idea or heard it from somebody else. So that's a really good way to see how marketable an item is and give you an idea of if it's actually gonna sell fast or not. But that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you liked the sold comps, and I'll keep making more content. I appreciate you watching. Like, subscribe, share. I appreciate all the support. Thanks again, and until next time, peace.